A lot of grocery stores in their deli section have ready to eat, ready to go meals and snacks. So take a look at those sections of your grocery store. That's another simple, very, very fast way to meal prep if you don't have time to do like fully cook. Hey there, welcome to the Coaching Corner podcast. I am Jade Harrison, aka JD Gaines. I've been a personal trainer for about 10 years, and I created this podcast so I can share with you some of the tips and tricks that I share with my personal training clients. In today's episode, I'm going to share a couple of tips for minimalist meal prep. We all have weeks where we are just too busy or too tired to go through the process of planning and cooking our meals for the week. And when that happens, it can be very easy to get off track on our diet plans. So what I'm sharing in this episode are a couple of really fast and healthy ways that you can still meet your macros with spending minimal time in the kitchen. Now, if you like the tips and tricks that I share in this episode, make sure to check out my Healthy Diet Makeover book, which you can buy off Amazon or you can download the ebook from my website. In my Healthy Diet Makeover book, I've created a 5-step process for cleaning up your diet, starting with how to put healthy food on your plate at every meal. And I'll also show you how to figure out how many calories you should be eating and how to split those calories up between your macronutrients like protein, carbohydrates, and fats. This book also comes with a bunch of recipes that you can try, as well as a 7-day example meal plan. I'll show you how to meal plan and how to meal prep as well. There's other tips in this book as well on how to eat healthy on a budget, how to eat healthy while traveling, etc. So make sure to pick up a copy of the book. You can find a link for that in the video description below if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening to this podcast, you can find links for the book in the show notes. Now, without further ado, let's get into the episode. I had a client a couple weeks ago where she, just had sort of a bad mental health weekend. And the weekend is when she usually does her meal prep. And then she was really worried about getting off track that week when I saw her on Monday. And I was like, well, why don't you just get the stuff that's like ready to eat right from the grocery store? So you have to do very minimal stuff. We were brainstorming some of the things that she could do to make sure that she was hitting her macros and hitting her calories so she could continue to work out as hard as she needed to reach her goals because she's got a wedding coming up. So these are some of my tips. I have 9 tips for simple minimalist things that you can do to make sure that you're sticking to your diet plan, even if you just don't have time to meal prep or maybe you missed your window for meal prep. My number 1 tip that I recommend people, if you're not vegan or vegetarian, is to just grab a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store. Because the rotisserie chickens from the grocery store are, number 1, guaranteed to be tasty. They're well cooked, right? And they are usually cooked really like with the right amount of seasoning and everything. You can eat them right out of the box. Like you could just literally just buy one and eat it. Depending on what your protein and your calorie goals are and how much you have to eat at a meal, you might have to eat half a chicken, right? If you have the funds for it and you want to go a little step further, then go to like a Peruvian restaurant. They'll also give you like basically a whole, it's like brick grilled chicken, right? Now you can eat it whole, like right as it is. Or you can very quickly take that and turn it into some chicken salad, or you can add it as a topping to a sandwich. You can make a wrap out of it. You can turn it into like some quick tacos. It's very easy to make multiple things using a rotisserie chicken or a Peruvian, chicken. And a lot of times, like the Peruvian restaurants will give you like an option, half a chicken, a whole chicken, or whatnot. So this is something very, very easy, very minimalist. You literally could just keep it in your fridge and then just like cut off a few pieces as you go, So you don't have to worry about cooking it yourself. Now, if you are in a calorie deficit, if you're watching your calories, when you're using the rotisserie chicken, you can easily reduce the calorie intake of that chicken by just not eating the skin, okay? Because rotisserie chicken are usually cooked with the skin on. Just peel the skin off and eat just the meat, okay? And then, be careful about what sauces you're using. But you can easily make a pretty low calorie, high protein snack or full meal using rotisserie chicken. It lasts at least 3 days in the fridge. You could get a couple of them, or you could get one every couple of days if you have like a particular week where you're not going to be able to cook. Just get a rotisserie chicken at the beginning of the week and then another one midway through the week, okay? Another thing, number 2, is pre-washed salad kits. You can get these from the grocery store, and these are great. You can pack them right into your lunchbox. You can eat them right out of the package. They usually contain a mixture of different vegetables. You can also find ones that have a variety of different proteins, like boiled eggs or chicken, turkey or ham. And they have other like ingredients too. So this is another really easy, you can grab and go right from the grocery store to make sure that you're getting some fiber and some vegetables in your diet, even if you don't have time to meal prep. However, I also have to say, it is also super, super fast to just build your own salads for meal prep. This is something that I do a lot of times when I have those weeks where I'm just like, I cannot be bothered. I'll just buy a bunch of kale or spinach and then, whatever other ingredients, because like with just a couple of different vegetables, like a bag of greens and then some other vegetables, depending on what kind of salad you're building, you can like build out like 7 different meals using all of those things, mixing and matching the different like proteins and toppings that you use. So that's another simple, very, very fast way to meal prep if you don't have time to do like fully cook. And you could use the rotisserie chicken for part of the protein, right? Boiling some eggs. You can also like buy boiled eggs from the grocery store. A lot of grocery stores in their deli section have ready to eat, ready to go meals and snacks. So take a look at those sections of your grocery store. That's where you'll often find the pre-washed salad kits as well. If not there, you'll also find them in the vegetable section. Number 3, another thing that can be super helpful if you don't have a lot of time to cook is microwavable grains. Fellow Twitch streamer and bodybuilder / powerlifter, Kira the Hermit, or Hermit Ernest on other social media. One thing that his community used to give him a hard time about was his microwavable rice. He'd get, was it Uncle Ben's? Yeah, he'd get packs of Uncle Ben's rice, microwave them, and then have that with some tuna or some other some packaged chicken or something for a quick like post-workout meal. And his community used to give him a hard time for using the microwavable rice, but it's legitimate. And that's what, if you got to do what you got to do. There's nothing wrong with honestly, if it's the difference between you not eating at all versus eating some microwavable grains, freaking get the microwavable grains. So this is super, super simple way to get in some healthy grains without having to go through the whole process of cleaning your rice and then boiling it and then steaming it, et cetera, et cetera. You can skip all of that and just get some little packets, and you can get those from any grocery store. Number 4, pre-cut veggies and steam bags. Another great way to get in your veggies with very minimal cooking time. Just go to the frozen food section of your grocery store and you'll find steam bags all over the place. Some of them have different sauces that they can add to give some different flavorings. My colleague and coach really likes, it's like a cauliflower rice that has this cheesy sauce, and he'll get 2 of those and microwave 2 of those and have those for lunch with some protein. Very fast, simple, pretty good tasting, at least that's what he tells me. You can find a lot of different microwavable and steam bags like that with flavoring or without flavoring. And if you go to the produce section, a lot of times you'll find pre-cut veggies that are ready to eat right out of the box. And sometimes they'll even come with a little bit of ranch dressing or some hummus or something. That's another really simple way to make sure that you are getting some veggies in, even if you haven't meal prepped. You can also do the same thing if your diet allows for deli meats. You can also find party trays that have deli meats and cheese. And hummus, and sometimes there's a mixture of veggies and deli meats and etc. So those are some good options as well. Number 5, if you are up for just a little bit of cooking, boil some eggs. When I have a minimal prep week, one of the first things I do is pop like between 6 and 10 eggs into a saucepan, boil them, and then I don't even peel them. I just like, once they are cooked, I stick them in the fridge in some ice water, and then I use them as I go throughout the week. I'll make egg salad, or I'll use them as toppings on a wrap, or for a salad, right? Frozen turkey burgers or veggie patties. So frozen foods like that you can, keep in your freezer and then just pop them in the microwave when you're ready to eat. Still a little bit of cooking, still a little bit of prep. You get something that's like nice and warm, but you don't really have to like make the patties, right? They're already ready to go. Also, pre-cooked chicken sausage. Or summer sausage, again, like deli meats, that kind of a thing, if your diet allows. Just keep in mind when it comes to sausage and deli meats, you gotta be mindful of the amount of sodium that's in it. If you are trying to eat a low sodium diet, or if you're watching your blood pressure, this might not be the best option for you. And number two, sausage a lot of times has a lot higher fat content, especially like saturated fat. So if you're watching your saturated fats, you want to be careful about sausage. But that is another option as well. Number 6, a couple of shelf-stable staples that you might want to just keep in your kitchen at all times for when you have a week like this, when you don't have time to cook, are things like canned beans. These are super easy to just warm up, add salt, pepper, and maybe like a little bit of seasoning. You could eat them exactly like that, or you could add them to salads, add them to protein bowls, etc. They're a really great source of dietary fiber and protein. I mean, honestly, you could live off of beans because they are a complete food. They have carbohydrates, healthy fats, and also protein. So I always recommend keeping canned beans in your pantry at all times, and then just use them on weeks when you don't have time to cook. Tuna and salmon packets are also a really great staple to keep in your pantry. Another thing that you can very easily whip together, add onto a sandwich or add onto a salad, or make tuna salad with crackers. Very quick, easy, high protein and healthy fat food. You want to also keep some soup or chili in your pantry or in your freezer too. Sometimes what I'll do is make a soup or a chili, like a big batch of it, like a family-sized batch of it that has between 6 and 8 servings. And then I will freeze the soup and keep it in my freezer for weeks like this when I don't have time to meal prep, or I don't have time to do a whole meal prep. I can always grab those frozen meals that I've created for myself from a couple of weeks before. There are a lot of companies who make pretty healthy frozen meal options. The only thing that you have to watch out for these is sometimes they don't have enough calories. If you look at the nutrition on the box, it's just 310 calories. A lot of them are like 310 calories, 400 calories. And that is, for most people, not really enough calories for an actual meal. But, if you have 2 of them, it's full of vegetables, it's full of, usually they don't have as much protein as you need to, but if you eat 2 or 1.5, then you can probably get your protein intake. So there's a lot of good options for frozen meals that you should probably keep stocked in your freezer just in case. And if you have a week where you haven't meal prepped or you don't have time, you can always just go to the grocery store, grab a couple of those and just have them in your freezer. Just keep in mind when it comes to these like pre-made frozen meals, a lot of times they do have a lot of sodium in them. So again, if you're watching your blood pressure, you want to be mindful of how much sodium is in these frozen foods. The same thing when it comes to the shelf-stable canned foods as well. Those canned foods are going to have a lot more sodium in them too. So just make sure that you're balancing that out with drinking plenty of water to help, flush your system. But, you want to balance out these shelf-stable and frozen foods with fresh foods. So that's why I first recommended the rotisserie chicken and the pre-cut veggies, that kind of thing. I also have a couple of tips for snacks, for snack ideas. If you want to maximize your protein, some snacks that you should keep in your kitchen are Greek yogurt cups. A lot of them have at least 12 grams of protein. Oikos has this product that's called Oikos Pro, and it's like 20 grams of protein for a small, like half a cup of yogurt. It's good to have those and keep those in your fridge. Very quick, easy 20 grams of protein right there. And it's not very high calorie either. String cheese or those cheese rounds, just make sure that if you are watching your calories, go for skim or low fat. Again, keeping hard-boiled eggs in your refrigerator is a good choice for snacks. You could just pop on some salt and some pepper, maybe a drop of vinegar, and you can easily have a little snack that's 12 grams of protein, 2 eggs, right? Keeping jerky, like beef jerky, in your pantry is a great way to get a protein-dense snack that is fast, you don't have to cook it, and it's ready to go right out of the package. Or meat sticks. So you can get turkey, beef jerky. You can also find plant-based jerky as well that's made with like lentils or soy. Roasted edamame or chickpeas. You can get them in like these little snack packs, these little pouches. Keep those in your pantry. Easy way to get a good balance of carbohydrates, fats, and protein. And then protein bars and shakes, of course. You know, many bodybuilders and powerlifters, it's kind of a staple of our kitchens. We always have protein shakes or protein powder and some protein bars somewhere. So these are some fast protein dense snacks. If you are looking for something that's like more like fresh and fruity, you could find some like pre-sliced apple packs. Unsweetened applesauce cups, another really good choice for something sweet and fresh. And now, number 9, I'll be honest, on the weeks that I don't have a lot of time to meal prep, and I am just kind of like flying by the seat of my pants, I'm more likely to go for stuff that is sweet. I'm more likely to eat things that are like sweet and desserty. I'm more likely to crave that. And if I haven't meal prepped, it's likely because I'm busy and I'm stressed, so I know going into it that I'm probably gonna want something sweet. So if I'm going to the grocery store to pick up some stuff that's gonna be like quick meal prep, I'm also gonna grab some stuff that's like a pretty nice little like sweet treat that's gonna go towards my macros. So you can get those like Yasso frozen Greek yogurt bars. Those are so yummy. If you like ice cream, or if you like, like frozen yogurt, that kind of thing, those are really yummy. Protein bars are a really good, they can kind of sometimes scratch that itch for something sweet, especially if you like chocolate, and I do. So keeping chocolate protein bars and like using them as sort of like a dessert when I'm feeling like I want something sweet is a good way to satisfy that when I'm stressed, but also add to my protein for the day. You can also find a lot of like protein snacks, like protein pudding cups. Premier Protein and Cozy Shack Simply Well, they make protein pudding. You can also find high protein ice creams like Halo Top. These are all good options for if you have a sweet tooth and you want to satisfy that sweet tooth and also have it go towards your macros and calories for the day. So those are my 9 tips for how to tackle if you haven't had time to meal prep, or if you don't have time to meal prep and you want to still eat in a way that's like going towards your goals and in alignment with your goals. Now I'm curious to see like what are the things that you guys do when you have a week where like you don't have time to meal prep, when you don't have time to cook. What do you do in order to like stick to your diet plan? If you're watching this on YouTube, leave those in the comments below this YouTube video because I really want to hear what your tips and tricks are. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode of the Coaching Corner podcast. Again, I'm Jade Harrison, aka JD Gains. If you are interested in working with me, or if you're interested in the products and services that I offer, head to my website, jdgains.com. I am taking on online personal training clients right now for a variety of my programs, so make sure that you check out those options. You can also hang out with me while I'm live on my Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/jdgains. So make sure to follow me there so that you can join me in the live chat while I'm doing my workouts and doing the podcast. And that's it for this episode. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, make sure that you eat your veggies, eat your protein, stay hydrated, and take good care of your body. And I'll see you next time. Take care.